The chair recognizes the gentleman from Texas.
Mr. Speaker, my amendment prohibits the National Park Service from placing any limitation on the number of air tours at our nation's parks. There are over 45,000 commercial scenic air tours over our national parks every year. These air tour operators provide that breathtaking experience for visitors that should remain, if not even increase. I've been following this issue for quite some time now, and I don't think people really fully understand what's going on here. 2 decades ago, Congress passed the National Park Air Tourism Act, which required the National Park Service and the Federal Aviation Administration to work together to develop air tourism management plans for any park that had 50 or more annual air tours over its landscape. After 20 years of bickering and bureaucratic incompetence, jurisdictional fights between federal agencies, and the actions of what we would see in a kindergarten, neither the National Park Service nor the FAA had completed their congressional mandate. An effort was spearheaded by radical environmentalists whose sole goal is to end air tours because they think noise ruins the experience of visitors and the animals who live there. As a result of these efforts, in 2019, a court ordered that any park hosting 50 or more sightseeing air tours a year develop a management plan by August of 2022. 24 parks were named in the resulting court order, and some of these parks developed plans that will drastically reduce the number of air tours or outright ban them. And this is completely nuts. Did they depose an elk or a moose or a trout and find that these air tours offend them? Give me a break. These air tours are not reserved for the millionaire and billionaire class like some of my colleagues like to pretend. They are utilized by families, the disabled, the elderly, and middle-class Americans. I would also like to point out that the level of noise from our air tours is decreasing every year with technological advances and investments from our air tour operators. Not to mention, many of the flights fly at an altitude that people on the ground wouldn't even notice. If there are any Democratic staffers or members listening to this right now, I would like them to answer this question. We hear a lot of talk about fairness. We hear a lot about equity, about civil rights. But if we reduce or phase out air tours, then what's your plan for the disabled or the elderly? How are they supposed to traverse these landscapes? Where is the fairness there? Air tour operators offer a crucial alternative for individuals who cannot easily walk the often treacherous terrain of our national parks. I understand some of these more radical environmentalists believe these flights disrupt the natural landscape and experience because of noise, but what about the families who have children that are disabled or those who want grandma and grandpa to participate on that family vacation? Who's advocating for them? Where's the sympathy for them? And who the hell are we to deny that experience? Let's do the right thing and save our air tours and ensure access for our elderly and the disabled by supporting my amendment. With that, I reserve.